Yo, welcome back everyone, this is Stu42 with another Minecraft video. Today we're back into the GregTech, taking our last two episodes off to get some basic sort of stuff done. I did a brief, hey, this is how you do diamonds, and I also built my Steve's Cart's tree farm. I managed to get a chunk loader running and I left that overnight, and this actually filled completely. The cart ran out of durability in its cutting head, which actually takes more diamonds. So I had to put another diamond in it to refresh that. But as a result, I have gotten a ton of wood out of that. So that's a really good result for Steve's carts. As you can see over here, we're up to nearly a whole barrel full. That was, yeah, that was down to like 10 stacks yesterday. So now we've got 56. I'm going to need to modify the barrel to make it void the overflow shortly. So today we're going to finally get into the EU section of GregTech, get out of the Steam age, although we're still going to use Steam to generate the EU at the start, or at least for a while anyway. What we're going to do that with is this block here called the basic Steam Turbine. We get low voltage out of that, which is 32 EU per tick. There's an advanced one and a turbo one. I don't think we're ready for those just yet, so we're just going to go for the basic one. Heaps of components, heaps and heaps of components. Now you want the industrial craft circuit, lots of things to make. I think I've shown you how to make all the bits and pieces we need. Steel plates, we've got steel. You can bang them in a hammer, that's fine. The copper cables are all to do with having a copper cable, which is, snips in a copper plate, and a bit of rubber. Some of these things, wherever they are, there is one of them. Yeah, the tin cable, for example, needs a rubber sheet, which again I showed you in one of the previous episodes, how to get those rubber sheets, which are made. Yeah, so we got the rubber sheets from the molds that we got last time. Yeah, so as always, I'm not going to show you how to make every little piece and component for this. I'll be here all day. I mean, some of these things are really complicated. Like even just making this tin screw needs a couple of tin bolts, which is through the file, and the file needs a saw with a rod. And the rod is a file with a ingot. Okay, lots of parts. So I'm going to go away and make all these parts off camera because there's no way you guys want to watch that, and I'm pretty sure you're all smart enough to know how to use a crafting grid. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my blast furnace because I want to sort of put the power generation over the side here. I'm not ready to move these yet. I may move it around again later, but I'm not sure yet. So moving the blast furnace, I might just chuck it over on that wall. Be careful, you do have to use the wrench to take apart the blast furnace. It doesn't look like it uses up the durability of the wrench to use it this way, which is pretty handy. So I'll dismantle this, move it, make the other thing, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, we are back and we're about halfway through the build, maybe a bit less. Now, I just thought I'd stop. As you can see, I've moved that over, but there's a couple of things I've just noticed as we build. A pretty tricky thing that's just caught me out. So if you put the cutter on that side and the copper plate, you'll get copper cables. If you swap them over, you get copper wires. Now it is wires that we want. So as you can see, I made some cables to begin with. I have no idea what I'm going to do with those now. Presumably I can just use them for power or something. In fact, yeah, I'll probably use them as power transfer. But they don't work the same way. You can't rubber sheet them or anything. So whereas the tin wires, hey, there we go. There's those cables that we were after. And likewise, I need to do that one, make sure it's tin wire. I need 2 more of those. And there we go. There's our 4 that we've got. So at the moment, we're making the generators. So as you can see, I've made the 2 small tin rotors. I'm trying to make these electric motors here right now. So in fact, I look like I have all the pieces for it. Yeah, so I don't know what's happening there. There's a couple of issues, but it looks like I've got my iron rod. It needs a magnetic one in the middle. I'm not quite sure how to make magnetic iron. So this is going to be the next big thing for me to figure out. Electromagnetic polarizer, fluid solidifier, alloy smelter. No. Induction smelter, maybe. But that makes magnetic iron dust. it looks like I need the electromagnetic polarizer to do anything, which means I need power. So we're back at that old stalemate again of how do we make these? So it's either a magnetic steel rod or a magnetic iron rod in the middle. All right, I'm going to go away and have a look at this, and I'll be back in just a moment with how we possibly make that magnetic iron rod. See you in a bit. Okay, we are back just briefly again. It looks like I just skipped over the answer. So here we have a normal iron rod, and we just throw 4 redstone around it. So we have our normal iron rod, and we have a bunch of redstone. My bags are getting really full. And we can throw 2 of those in there, like that, and there we have our magnetic iron rods, which we can put the normal iron rods on the end, the copper wires there, the tin cables there, and there are our electric motors. Cool. Onwards and upwards to make the rest of the stuff. All right, I will be back in just a moment once we have made those few extra items, and then we're almost ready to hook it up. See you in a bit. Okay, we are back, and we're just putting the final bits together now. As you can see, I've forgotten what else I need. What goes in the middle at the top? That's right, the electronic circuit. Not quite. Circuit. LV machine hull. We haven't made the LV machine hull properly, which is that with the 2 tin. That's the LV machine hull, which means we are going to need very quickly. I'm doing this the slow way with the hammer. So let's grab another tin wire. Quickly grab that. Put that in the middle, that up there, that there, those across there, those across the bottom, and the piping along the top. Hurrah! A basic steam turbine. There we go. We have our first EU producing item. So I'm going to throw this down there. That'll do. And then I'm going to make a few more pipes and pipe this into there, probably some more bronze stuff. So bear with me again. I'm going to go off camera and make a bunch more of this larger bronze fluid pipe to pipe our steam through into here, get some cabling together, and then figure out where the power comes out. Yeah, maybe the power comes out this little dot here, and I need to move it around. Wow, that's pretty cool. Awesome. So yeah, I'm going to have to do a bit of fiddling with this first, just to make sure we get it right, and then we're going to also have to make a machine to use it. So the first machine we're going to make is actually a fluid canning machine. So the basic fluid canner. Holy moly, a bunch more crazy stuff for us to do, but we are going to need this if we're going to ever make batteries, which is the first thing we need for EU. So bear with me a minute, and I will be back once I've made a few more of these components. See you in a bit. We are back, and I've made a ton of bronze this time around. It's taken me quite a while to get it because I had to go and mine some copper and tin along the way, but we have some large bronze fluid pipes now. So what I'm going to do is, let's just see if this does anything. Oh, well, steam goes in. Which is good. And the thing's spinning. So I'm guessing that means we've got power. Not entirely sure how to tap the power off. But what I might do is I'm going to do that next time, actually. I did decide while I was making this that I want to keep these videos length a bit shorter. So there we have our basic steam turbine. I'll try and post the next video very, very shortly. We're going to need to make a fluid extractor, I think, is what we're going to need first, because we're going to need some redstone or molten redstone. And the basic fluid extractor gives us the molten redstone, which we can then put into batteries, which means we can make a bat box finally, which is ultimately what I want to get to first with EU. So anyway, that's our first basic steam turbine happening. We'll see you next time where we actually use some of this power. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.